I think it's safe to say that we all have different tastes in our music. No one is going to agree that every song someone else likes is good. I think it's also come to a point in our society where we don't bash on other people's taste in music anymore. There's still some people that are gonna do this, of course, but most people have an IQ higher than 4 don't do this. But never in my life have I seen more of an argument between whether 100 Gecs is good or if they're bad. And that's what I'll be going into today. But before I start, I just want to say that 83% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. What are you doing? So if you like what I do, make sure to subscribe to see all my upcoming stuff. Now with that out of the way, on with the video.
On 100 Gecs. 100 Gecs is the fucking worst shit I've ever heard in my life.
100 Gecs is a musical duo between Laura Les and Dylan Brady, and it's definitely apparent that they have a different idea of music. It's absurd but catchy, and it's somehow a beautiful disaster, but that's really the entire point. I personally enjoyed some of their songs, so I can understand one side of the argument, but also some of their songs are pretty bad, so I understand the other side of the argument. And one thing I've noticed with a lot of Gecs fans is that if you start off listening to their songs without understanding what they do, it's gonna surprise you. But once you start to listen more and more, it's kind of like you're tagging along for the ride. It's hard to put a label on them or even describe them with a genre, but it's more of a mix between experimental, electronic, hip-hop, pop, whatever else. And you might be wondering, well, what do they do that makes them so different from all these other artists? Well, it's kind of hard to explain. They take a lot of sound effects and they kind of mash them together to make a good background song, and then they put the lyrics over it, and the lyrics could be anything, like even about drinking water. And you know, it's just so absurd and sounds catchy. It just makes sense. It's like mixing two random foods together and just trying it and it actually tasting good. That's like the best way I can describe it. And one of their songs called Ringtone, they even got Charlie XCX on the track, as she's the one who collaborated in the I Don't Care, I Love It song. And Kira Bonito, the creator of Flamingo. They only featured in the remix though, while Laura and Dylan featured in the original. Also, another creator who I haven't necessarily heard of myself, named Rico Nasty. I just checked her out and she actually has some pretty good music, so she's not very well known as the other two, but she still is a good artist. I like the remix more because I feel like no matter who you are, you've heard these two songs or these three creators at least once. And it's very cool to see them all collaborating on this one song. I feel like even if you don't like 100 Gecs or understand them, I think it's still worth appreciating their ideas. And I mean, they're trying to make these absurd songs sound good and bring together creators to make a banging song. They're just crazy and I'm here to watch. Unlike other artists, there isn't much of a deep message here. Some of their songs have messages, but they're very surface level. There's no way to describe it other than the way my friend mentioned it here. I think the day everyone figured out who they were was when this tweet dropped. Their fans and haters were there, and it was just a mix of opinions surged in these replies. The reason I made this video is to kind of demonstrate that you shouldn't just take your opinion and stick with that. You should try to see the other side of things and understand where other people are coming from. Let this serve as an educational video on why people like 100 Gecs, because I can understand where people are coming from. This is definitely some of the crazier music out there, but honestly, not the craziest I've heard. Anyways, that's all for this video. I know this was kind of a short one, but if you want to see some longer videos, my last one was like pretty long. And apparently it didn't hit the sub box, so yeah, if you want to watch that, it will be at the end card. Alright, anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Stan 100 Gecs. Adios. How do I end this thing? This button?